Good morning guys, welcome back to another video. Today's one's going to be a bit interesting because it's a rather unusual activity we are doing, and it involves a topper. So I've got the big McConnell topper on the back of the 155 and I'm out in our stubble fields. These are the ones I sprayed off a little while ago. You can see that it's all going yellow and dying, and that's good. We want the grass to die so that we can make a stale seedbed to put in the next crop, which is going to be beans. But the issue we're having is we want to cultivate this with a Sumo Trio that our contractor Tom has. The problem is there's so much grass that it's just clogging up, it's dragging it, it's leaving piles everywhere, and it's not doing a good job. So we've blitzed it with some glyphosate, so all of this is dying off and is, you know, hopefully going to go away. And I'm going to come in and shave it as tight as I can with this, so that when Tom comes to Sumo it, it's all like little bits and it will mix in well. You know what I mean. Top her. There's a lot of tension on that, but we can hopefully undo it. Like so. Unclip it from there and from there. I don't know if this is what you're supposed to do, but I then hang it on. Put it on there. Hang it on like that. So hopefully that doesn't go anywhere. Now I know I got the spools in the wrong way round as well, so whilst we're here, change those. There is nothing more annoying than setting your spools up how you want them in the tractor, and then the pipes are in the wrong way round. It is a little bit tacky out here really, but we'll see what we can do. All the wheels on the back sort of set the height of the machine, but you can also do it on a spool as well, so you can see I can raise and lower here where I want. Now usually, if you guys can see the chains on the front here that run along in front of the machine, if they are just about sweeping the ground, that is about the right height. And then I put the wings in float, and hopefully that's somewhere where we want to be. Now I'm certainly not planning on topping the entire field, because that will take a long time, and I just think it's a bit unnecessary. But anywhere where we've got a particularly high grass burden, like the patch behind me, I will go over with the topper. It's a perfect storm this last growing year of any time we wanted to get on the ground to do some spraying, whether it be herbicides or fungicides or whatever, the weather was always against us and the timings were just never there, which meant that we ended up with quite a high weed burden within the crop, which is why the stubbles are so green this year. Hence we're having to do this sort of rescue mission. No point me just topping stubble, because you know, the Sumo is designed to be a stubble cultivator. It is well capable of burying trash. It's just not thick swarded grass. That's not what it's designed for. We're motoring on through. There's a particularly bad bit here, as you can see, so I'm just going up and down that quickly, nipping the tops off it. We've got quite a lot of volunteer oats. Now they were the previous crops of the one we just harvested, so they've been hanging around a little while. I've done all the way around the margins, got in under the hedges and all the bits you can't quite get with a hedge trimmer on the floor. So hopefully that's done a good job. And then we'll just perhaps we'll do the tram lines, because they're pretty green. They've got a lot of debris on them. And any other bits that we think need doing. Then we'll give Tom a shout, tell him we've done it, and he can come back and have a crack at it. Did cut the corn quite high this year as well, because there was an awful lot of stones. They seem to appear with a little bit of frost that we had over winter. And I did pick a lot of them. I think I did a video about stone picking. I went round and picked a lot of stones up, but I did tell Jeremy when he was combining just to keep the header up, because it's not worth putting a rock through a combine and smashing the inside of it to bits. Right, I'm just going to pop back and get myself some dinner. I'm only right beside the farmhouse here, or the farm office I should say. You can hopefully see what I have done and what I haven't. It does make a lot of difference actually going over it. This is the sort of stuff that's happening with all the grass in it. Tom's machine is like clogging up. We actually had it happen with the Nardi cultivator that we hired for last year. At the end of every run I had a load of stuff clogged on it, and you just like back up and it would fall off, and then it's in a ball, and then it's there for the rest of the time until it breaks down. But hopefully this will save us having to go around with the Manitou and picking up everything that's clogging up. It should do, there's no reason why it won't. What I'm going to try and do is like patches like this I haven't done yet. You can see there's like a triangle there that needs doing. The bulk of the field in the middle, that's actually fairly clean, so that should be fine. The tram lines I do, because they are quite green, they've got a lot of oats in them. And once Tom mixes it all in, it'll all green up again, and we'll have to spray it off again, I expect, before we put the beans in. In case anyone was wondering, this is an SR15. That's the model of topper that we are running. It's a McConnell. It absolutely smashes everything to bits. Runs in 1,000 speed. It's quite hard on the tractor if you hit something, like you can see here I've scalped a bit of soil. Doesn't take a lot for it to run the tractor down. It is, you know, big heavy bit of kit. Yeah, I'm going to go and have some lunch and then we'll carry on a bit later. Little Gus update. Everyone likes seeing you, Gus, don't they? Curl up in your bed. Coming out. Lunchtime. Yes. Carrot. Where's your carrot? Yes. We're getting through it here a little bit. I've done the worst patch of this field by far, which was in the middle here in this gully. There was a lot of grass in there. See, there's a big yellow bit here. I'm going to do this patch. There's a green bit there where the combine actually sank when we combined. A big wet hole there, so I've got to be a bit careful what bit I do there. And then I just want to do a little bit above that weather station in the middle, and then I'm going to call this field done, because it's the rest of it's just stubble. I mean, Tom's machine will mix this in fine. Today is Monday. He's hoping to come either Thursday or Friday with the Sumo and get some of this done. I noticed just now my bungee here, they come off the top link, so all my pipes are hanging down, which is no good. Now this will definitely want a bit of a sharpen up once I've finished doing all this stubble work, because there are a few stones about. I would have definitely blunted the blades a bit. But yeah, I'm nearly ready to call this field done. Just going to do a couple patches over there, and I'm going to go to a field other side of the road back towards the farm. So I think Tom did Sumo, but the headlands are horrendous, so we'll go and see how that goes. Let's fold this thing up, head off to the next piece, lift the body up off the floor, then pull the wings up. If we were going any distance along the road, I'd put the strap on, but we're only going up the lane. You can see our building is just about there, and this road is currently closed because the bridge got hit down there. So there's no danger of me meeting anyone, so I feel perfectly safe not strapping it. I mean, whilst the tractor's running, it won't unfold anyway, but what you have to remember is that the turning circle is fairly similar to a shipping container. So yeah, I think the next place we're going, we just need to run around the headlands and tidy up and sort of just define what is field and what is margin, you see what I mean? Because the grass margins we've got around some of the fields grow out into the fields quite well when they're not maintained. I think it's a mud. There's a margin here, 5 metres, but not all of that. So only 5 metres of that is margin. There's no margin along here, so all this is just, you know, there's just too much vegetation. You can see the middle's been worked. It looks quite good where the Sumo's been. We'll just nip round the outside, tidy it all up, do the bit here they haven't done. Yeah, job will be a good one. Right, power shaft. I remember using this topper when I first started working here on the back of one of the 4-cylinder tractors. It took a bit of getting going, it would stall it occasionally, just putting it into gear. So before and after, that is quite the difference. No wonder they were struggling with the Sumo in this one. Just about see where field margin starts. So I'll try and cut to that. What's also handy is on my screen here, got the yellow line. That indicates my 5 metre boundary from the fence. So that is my 5 metre margin, so I can see by eye where it is roughly on behind me, and I can drive to it on the screen as well. That way I know I'm in the right place. I would say that looks a little bit better. Now I have got some glyphosate left in the sprayer from when I sprayed off the other paddocks the other day. Probably just about enough to go around this headland. So I could always stick a bit more water in it, dilute it down a bit, and come around this field, especially around the headlands here where it is really grassy, that wouldn't be a bad thing to do at all, I don't think. Just turn this off a sec. I think we're going to drill this with a Claydon. That's sort of what we've been discussing at the moment. So our contractor Tom, he hasn't got a Claydon, so I have to use another contractor. But they are well-known machines for getting stuff down deep. Like, they have a special shoe, I think, that goes on the coulter for beans. We'll get them down nice and deep, and then we can get a pre-emergence on, hopefully, because they don't disturb the soil too much. If we can get this, you know, drilled and possibly rolled, and get a pre-emergence on, that'll be good. With anything, now we're in October, the weather is always going to be against us. But I've done in here what I want to do. I'm going to go pack up and go down and feed the calves. I will put the strap back on it just for now, but so these edges here have taken a bit of a beating today. Good thing about them is you can just run the grinder over them, sharpen them up. Again, they've hit a lot of stones, and you can see all this mud and horrible stuff. But it does a nice job though. It gets it down fairly tight. I'll leave it a couple of days, let some of the mulch rot away, and then perhaps just come in and do maybe 2 laps with the sprayer. I think that'll kill the bulk of it. You can see the middle there, actually fairly brown, where it's been worked up. We had been having some problems with this machine eating power shaft guards, as you can see that one. It's had a bit of a bite out of it. But we got a new guard for it here, and then we got this hood actually separate. Now the chain's gone through it there at some point, I don't really know why, so I had to play with it this morning. I put it through this hole instead, if you guys can see there. I chained it up high so it doesn't, I don't know, it just doesn't pull on it the same. And then we've also got a chain on here that is tied down to the hitch. I mean, you've got to have these things well guarded. There was something on, did I see it on Instagram or TikTok? I think it was Farmer Tom, it might even have been on Twitter I saw it. He's saying about a new power shaft guard for one of their machines was £900. No wonder people don't buy them. There's not really the money in farming as it is, but if you're going to charge someone £900 for what is effectively a piece of plastic that, yes, will save your life if you go anywhere near a moving shaft, but I can see why people don't buy them. Ollie Blog's touched on it a bit. There's the other type of shaft guards you can buy now with the white plastic covered clips. I forget the name of them, but we do have some of them on some of our machines, that when these guards deteriorate and die and are no good anymore, they are much cheaper to buy, and they come with like different size PTO rings, so they fit nigh on any shaft, and you can just cut them to length, put them on. If you need to get in there to grease up the UJs or anything, you just unclip them and pull the ends off. I forget the name of them, somebody will let me know in the comments what they are, but yeah, it's mad, isn't it? Harp on about how dangerous the industry is. You know, and it is a dangerous industry, farming. But at the same time, it's only as dangerous as you make it. And if you're going to make people spend £900 for a power shaft guard, you know, a lot of farmers aren't going to do it. And sadly, that's when the accidents happen. But you know, we're very, very strict on power shaft guards here. You know, if there's a flaw in any of them, they get replaced. There's no quibbles. I'm going to go and feed my calves. Now, you guys have seen loads of calves recently. I'm going to do a big calf video when the shed is full, which will hopefully be the end of this week as I'm filming this. But I don't want to take you down and see the calves every single video. So what I've done instead is, at the weekend, whilst I was over at the new shed site, I filmed a bit of a shed update. So here is the shed update. Little shed update for you all. And when I say little, rather large. Look, it's nearly done. Isn't it amazing how fast sheds just go up? So since last time, all the smaller panels at the back have been put in. Let's go in and have a look. All these little ones. There's obviously a lot of groundwork still to do, get rid of all this clay and work it all up with rock and everything. But yeah, small panels have gone in. So this is going to be the scrape passage. This is going to be the bedding area, and obviously feeding at the front. And then we've got the channel at the back that we can run cows down. When I say cows, I mean bulls. So anyone who's not been following along with the videos, or if you're new, first of all, welcome. This building here is going to be housing our stock bulls, of which we have 4 at the moment. I think we're going to go up to 5. And what was here before was a old timber pole building, which was fine, but very, very unsafe for handling animals. There was no way of handling animals in it. So this has been designed and built with the idea of, as I said, bedding area that you can shut them back on without having to get in with them. Scrape area, push everything up that way against the panels to pull the muck out. There's going to be a full yard round here, so we'll have a concrete yard to work in with machinery, so it's not on earth or anything. This channel at the back, the idea of this is that, say you want to get the bull out of this end pen to do something with him, vaccinate him, TB test him, do his feet, anything like that. There'll be a door here that we can open, or a gate, and we can run him along the back there, all the way along this channel, and out into this, which would be a handling yard. And then we haven't quite figured out where it's all going to go yet, but there'll be a bit of a race and a crush and everything. And then if we want to move them, we'll be able to back the stock box in at an angle there. We'll get rid of that bit of fence, straight up to the crush or the end of the race. So if we ever want to move animals, back the box right up, run them straight in. We've never got to be in a pen with a bull. But yeah, doesn't it look smart? Yeah. It's coming along. Right, let's go back into what will be the end pen here. So yeah, still an awful lot of internal work to do, but the frame and the roof is up and on and looking good. But yeah, there's another shed update. I'm assuming probably not the next update I do here, but the one after, it'll be done. A lot of concrete to go in the shed and also around the yard. There's a new metal fence got to go up here, obviously all the handling stuff around the corner. It'll be nearly done. Just quickly, whilst we're passing, took the mower off this morning that we used last week to cut that bit of ground we put through the forager. Now, I don't normally do it, and I've mentioned it several times that I don't like doing it, but I did have to wash it afterwards because there was mud all up in the gaps between the hats and the bed, and oh, it was everywhere. So I gave it a really good wash this morning. Ran it up for a while to let it dry itself off and clear any bits out that was stuck to it and whatever, and then absolutely lathered it in oil. I went to town on it and then chucked as much grease in all the bearings as I could to force any water out. So hopefully I've done as much as I can to preserve that over the winter. It won't get used again now. I guess we'll see next spring when we get it out for first cut. Now, I said I wasn't going to bring it down to the calf shed, but I lied. I fed them all. I got one calf in here I'm just not 100% happy with. He was lied down in the back of the pen. He's back, that one there. 49's his number. He was lied down in the back of the pen when I come to feed them. He did get up on his own and he did come and feed, and he fed the entire time that the drum was in there. And then he went off and lied down again. But you see, even when the calves are lied down, they tend to have their ears pricked up. They're always keen to know what's going on and what you're doing, and quite bright and alert, whereas he isn't. He's got his head down. He doesn't look too happy with life. He was a bit hunched up, as if to say he got a sore belly or something. So whether he's gorged himself on the cake in the trough over there during the day, I don't know. But I've got 2 mils of Meloxidil, not Meloxidil, Loxicon. Can't get Meloxidil, which is a sort of like a pain relief. It's a bit like having a paracetamol if you've got a headache. So I'm going to give him that, and then in the morning, if he's no better, we'll take his temperature and see if there's anything else going on with him. But I'm hoping he's just gorged himself on cake and feeling a bit ugh. Hardest part of this will be not getting attacked by all his mates. But this, so this Loxicon, it just goes under the skin. You sort of put it in behind the shoulder or wherever you can find a nice flap of skin. Hopefully he should feel better. Scratched his back to get him up, and he stood up immediately, which is another good sign. If they're feeling really rough, they don't want to get up. And when you get a calf up, or when you see a calf get up, or any cow actually, to be fair, the first thing they will always do is stretch. I got him up and he stretched, and he's sort of there. You see his ears are pricked up now. I don't know if you can see him. It's that one right at the back against the drinkers. He's sort of there wondering about life, what's going on. I mean, it might have been that he's been play fighting with another one of the calves. They do nut each other pretty hard, but yeah, we'll keep an eye on him. I'll get his tag number, I'll record his treatment. We'll see what he's like in the morning. His backside's not mucky, so it's not like they're scouring. Yeah, the shake there, look. But like I said, we'll see how he goes in the morning, and if we need to do anything else to him, we will. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the little shed update. It's coming on leaps and bounds. It's flown up out the ground. Head down to the description for all the links to all my other socials. There's something down there for everyone: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, whatever you want, it's all down there, as well as the link for JM Farming merch. And yeah, if you haven't already, do subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up, and we'll see you on another one very soon. Cheerio. Like a truck